You think you know wealth? You've seen the headlines, the towers, the gold. But what if I told you the fortune isn't in what they own? It's in what they control. A last name that doesn't just open doors, it builds them. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the Trump family empire. Not the spectacle, not the spin, the mechanics, the strategy, the quiet legal moves that turn concrete into compounding capital. This isn't about politics, it's about patterns, how a brand became a business model, how ambition turned into architecture, and how the people carrying that name built portfolios most billionaires only dream of. Let's begin. Picture this. A kid follows his father through construction sites. Sawdust in the air, deals being made over blueprints, no softness, no excuses, just work. Fred Trump didn't coddle his children, he weaponized them. Donald learned to read a contract before he learned to drive. He watched negotiations like they were films, rewound them in his mind, studied the pauses, the pressure points. By 13, he was sent away. New York Military Academy, polished boots, rigid discipline, a place designed to strip ego or build it stronger. Donald chose the latter. He became captain, not by charm, by sheer relentless focus, the kind that doesn't blink first. This wasn't about creating a good student. It was about forging a deal maker who could stomach risk and never flinch under scrutiny. And when he rejoined his father's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son, the transformation was already underway. In 1971, Donald renamed the business, the Trump Organization. It wasn't just a rebrand, it was a declaration. He shifted focus from outer boroughs to Manhattan, the center, the spotlight, the place where fortunes are made loud. His first major move? The Commodore Hotel. It was dying, outdated, a relic near Grand Central that everyone had written off. But Donald saw something else. Location, bones, potential. He negotiated a 40-year tax abatement, brought in Hyatt, convinced the city this deal would revive the neighborhood. It did. The Grand Hyatt opened in 1980. Sleek, modern, profitable. And suddenly, Donald wasn't just Fred's son. He was a name people started saying differently, with weight, but Fred's shadow never left. The capital, the connections, the credit lines, all of it came from his father's empire. Critics have said Donald didn't build from scratch. He inherited the scaffolding. And maybe that's true, but inheritance is only the foundation. What you build on top of it, that's the test. Donald took Fred's careful, conservative approach and injected it with spectacle. Ego, brand. Where Fred built housing, Donald built icons. Where Fred stayed quiet, Donald made noise. It was a gamble, and for a while, it paid off beautifully. Then came Atlantic City. If Manhattan was Donald's stage, Atlantic City was his casino. In 1984, Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino opened, glittering, bold, a monument to excess. Then the Trump Taj Mahal. He called it the eighth wonder of the world. Chandeliers, marble, gold trim everywhere. It became one of the most recognizable casinos in America. Tourists flocked, high rollers gambled, the brand expanded, but beneath the shine, the numbers didn't add up. Too much debt, too much leverage, too much belief that the name alone could carry the weight. Between 1991 and 2009, Trump's casino businesses filed for bankruptcy 4 times. Not Donald personally, the corporate entities, the structures designed to absorb the blow. It's a distinction that matters, because while the casinos crumbled, Donald walked away. Bruised, yes, but still standing, and still building. Here's the thing about branding. It doesn't require ownership, it requires association. Donald learned that lesson in Atlantic City, and he never forgot it. By the 2000s, the Trump Organization pivoted. Hard. Instead of owning everything, they licensed the name. Developers around the world paid millions just to slap Trump on a building. No construction risk, no financing headaches, just royalties. The brand became the product. Trump Tower, Trump International, Trump Plaza. The names carried luxury, exclusivity, status. Even if Donald didn't own the bricks, he owned the perception. And perception, in real estate, is profit. Then came The Apprentice, a reality show that wasn't just entertainment, it was a 14-season commercial. Millions watched Donald fire contestants in boardrooms, make decisions, project authority. The show didn't just boost ratings, it turbocharged the brand. Suddenly, Trump wasn't just a developer, he was a household name, a symbol of success. And that visibility translated directly into business. Licensing deals multiplied. Trump-branded products appeared. Ties, steaks, vodka, water. Some succeeded, some flopped, but all of them reinforced the same message. This name means wealth. Now let's talk about the next generation, because the Trump empire isn't a solo act anymore. It's a family operation, and each member plays a different role. Ivanka Trump, the polished strategist. Born into wealth? Yes. But she sharpened it into something more calculated. She studied at Wharton, joined the Trump Organization, managed major projects like the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago. The lobby alone feels like it contains more sparkle than a jewelry vault. But Ivanka didn't stop at skyscrapers. In 2007, she launched her own jewelry line, then fashion, handbags, shoes, accessories. The designs landed in major department stores. The revenue climbed into the hundreds of millions. Her approach? Aspirational luxury, accessible enough to buy, exclusive enough to want. She built a brand within a brand, and when her father entered politics, she stepped into a new arena entirely. White House advisor, global summits, policy discussions. In 2018, she closed her fashion line, not because it failed, because the next stage required focus elsewhere. Her net worth, combined with her husband Jared Kushner, is estimated around $1.1 billion. Not inherited, earned, negotiated, built. Then there's Tiffany Trump, the quietest, the most independent. She tried pop music, released a single called Like a Bird. It didn't chart, but it showed range. She appeared on The Apprentice, tasted the family spotlight. Then she pivoted. Hard. In 2020, Tiffany graduated from Georgetown Law. A serious degree, a serious shift. She doesn't talk much about her legal career, but the credentials open doors. Corporate law, high-paying firms, influence beyond Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, Tiffany has hundreds of thousands of followers. Travel, fashion, lifestyle content that pulls brand deals and sponsorships. She's also linked romantically to Michael Boulos, heir to a Nigerian conglomerate. Their engagement made headlines, not just for love, for combined wealth. Tiffany's net worth sits around $10 million, modest by Trump standards, but growing. She's carved her own path, quieter, but no less ambitious. Eric Trump, the operator. As executive vice president of the Trump Organization, Eric oversees development and expansion. He managed the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago, 92 stories, one of the tallest in the country. He led the launch of Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. A historic building steps from the White House, transformed into a luxury destination. But Eric's real passion? Golf. Under his leadership, the Trump Organization acquired and developed world-class courses. Trump National Doral in Miami, the legendary Blue Monster course. Brutal, beautiful, a magnet for pros. Trump Turnberry in Scotland, rugged coastline, championship-level design. Trump International Golf Links in Ireland, cliffs, ocean views, unforgettable. Eric didn't just manage properties, he elevated them. He worked alongside Donald Jr. and Ivanka, forming a leadership trio that pushed the organization into new markets, especially the Middle East. Deals in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, luxury towers, hotels, golf resorts. The expansion raised eyebrows. Critics questioned conflicts of interest, especially during Donald's presidency. Eric's response? The deals are legal, transparent, strategic. Whether you agree or not, one thing is clear. Eric is committed, loyal, driven. He's not chasing headlines, he's chasing growth. Melania Trump, the calculated entrepreneur, from Slovenian model to first lady, from runways to boardrooms. Melania's story is one of transformation. After a successful modeling career, she married Donald in 2005. The wedding was lavish, celebrity-packed, a statement. In 2006, their son Barron was born, but Melania didn't disappear into domesticity. In 2010, she launched her own jewelry and timepiece line on QVC, affordable luxury. Prices ranged from $30 to $200. It sold well, really well. Encouraged, she introduced a skincare line in 2013, Melania Caviar Complex C6, anti-aging, premium ingredients, luxury packaging. She understood her audience, gave them aspiration they could touch. Her net worth is estimated around $50 million. Independent of Donald's fortune, she's not just the wife of a billionaire, she's a businesswoman in her own right. So how does a family like this keep growing? It's not just about making money, it's about keeping it. And that requires strategy, legal strategy. Let's talk taxes. Depreciation? You buy a building. The government lets you write off part of its cost every year, as if it's wearing out. On paper, your profit shrinks. In reality, the property might be appreciating, but your taxable income, lower. Historic preservation tax credits. Restore an old building the right way, and the government rewards you with tax breaks. You preserve culture, you pay less. 1031 exchange. Sell a property, buy another. Defer the capital gains tax. The money stays in play. The portfolio grows. The tax bill? Postponed. These aren't loopholes, they're tools. And the Trump organization has mastered them. Now let's talk about Mar-a-Lago. In 1985, Donald set his sights on it. A 128-room mansion in Palm Beach, built by serial heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post. The asking price? $28 million. Donald offered $15 million. It was rejected. He waited. The market cooled. He came back. He bought it for $5 million. Spent another $3 million on furnishings. Then, in 1995, he converted it into a private club. The initiation fee, $100,000. Annual dues around $14,000. After Donald won the presidency, the initiation fee doubled, $200,000. Membership became more than access. It became status, a chance to be inside the inner circle, to say you belong. Mar-a-Lago isn't just a club, it's a symbol of power, proximity, prestige, and that's the formula. Build the brand, license the name, minimize the tax, maximize the perception. It's not about owning everything, it's about controlling the narrative. The Trump family doesn't just sell real estate, they sell the feeling of arrival. The idea that if you live in a Trump building, stay in a Trump hotel, play on a Trump course, you've made it. The empire didn't stop at American soil, it crossed oceans. Because ambition, when it's this loud, doesn't respect borders. In the 2000s, the Trump organization began planting flags internationally. Not quietly, never quietly. Trump Tower Istanbul, twin high-rises, luxury apartments, office space, a shopping center at the base. The skyline changed. The brand arrived, then Manila. Trump Tower at Century City, sleek, gold-tinted glass, a beacon in the Philippine capital. Mumbai followed, Trump Towers Pune, partnerships with local developers who paid for the privilege of the name. The model was elegant in its simplicity. Local money, local risk, Trump branding, Trump royalties, no debt on their books, just recurring revenue. It's the kind of move that looks effortless but requires decades of reputation building to pull off. Because a name only carries weight if people believe in it, and millions did. Golf became a global strategy too. Eric and Donald didn't just buy courses, they acquired landmarks. In 2006, they purchased land on the North Sea coast in Aberdeen, Scotland. Environmentalists protested, locals resisted. The headlines were brutal. But in 2012, Trump International Golf Links Scotland opened anyway. Designed by Dr. Martin Hawtrey, stunning, unforgiving, a course that demands respect. Then came Turnberry in 2014, a legendary Scottish resort, iconic, historic, weathered. Trump bought it, poured millions into renovations, rebuilt the Ailsa course. It reopened to rave reviews from players and criticism from those who felt the Trump name overshadowed the heritage. But again, that's the brand, louder than the land it sits on. Ireland got the same treatment. Doonbeg, acquired in 2014, renamed Trump International Golf Links and Hotel. Dramatic coastline, tough terrain, a magnet for serious golfers. Back in the US, the collection kept growing. Trump National Golf Club in Westchester, stunning views of the Hudson. Trump Golf Links at Ferry Point in the Bronx, public-private partnership, city-owned land, Trump management. Each course reinforced the same message. We don't do average. But let's zoom out. Because the story isn't just about buildings or golf courses or licensing deals. It's about systems. The Trump family built a machine that takes a name, applies it to tangible assets, markets it relentlessly, and extracts maximum value. They monetize perception. When someone sees the Trump logo, they don't just see letters, they see luxury, exclusivity, success. Whether they love it or hate it, they feel something. And feeling is currency. The next generation understands this too. Barron Trump, now a young adult, remains the most private, but he's being raised inside this machine. Watching, learning. Donald Jr. has leaned into media, podcasts, public speaking, books. He's not just managing properties, he's managing influence. Because in 2024, influence converts faster than real estate ever did. Ivanka stepped back from the spotlight after the White House years, but her network remains. Her brand, dormant but not dead. Eric continues to run operations, steady, focused, less flash, more execution. Tiffany charts her own course, law degree in hand, building credibility outside the family towers. And Melania? She remains an enigma, selective, strategic, never more visible than she needs to be. Each of them plays a role, some louder, some quieter, but all of them benefit from the same infrastructure. The one Fred started, Donald amplified, and the family now protects. So what's the takeaway? The Trump family fortune isn't just about the dollars, it's about the blueprint. Build a brand that means something. Attach it to assets. License it when you can. Own it when it matters. Use the legal system to your advantage. Depreciation, tax credits, deferrals. Keep the capital moving. Never let it sit still. And most importantly, control the story. Because the story is what people buy. Not the penthouse, not the golf membership, not the hotel room. They buy the feeling, the belief that they're part of something bigger, shinier, more successful. Some will call it genius. Others will call it smoke and mirrors. But here's the truth. It works. The Trump name is worth billions. Not because of what they own, because of what people think they own. Perception became property, and property became power. You don't have to like them. You don't have to agree with them, but you can't deny the mechanics. A last name turned into a global empire, a brand that survived bankruptcies, scandals, presidencies, and countless headlines. It bent. It didn't break. And that's the lesson. Resilience isn't about perfection, it's about momentum. The Trump family keeps moving, keeps building, keeps branding, and in a world obsessed with status, that might be the smartest move of all. They want wealth that works for them, smart enough to grow, resilient enough to last. Before you go, hit that subscribe button, because we don't just review, we expose. From the hype to the hidden strategies to the systems most people never question. So hit like, tap subscribe, and join thousands of sharp thinkers who already know. Real wealth starts with understanding how it's actually built.